What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review for Cherish today, season 2, episode 4. So Ellis and Sunday are trying to make a run of this thing. We see at the beginning of this episode, Ellis is at the airport picking Sunday up. We see her with her chef coats. So we know that this is a little bit of business and pleasure, but they are happy to see each other. They grinning like Cheshire cats, honey, like kids in a candy store. Child, the airport attendant playing her part well, telling him he needed to move the car. And, they in the car kissing like, teenagers. And he bought her a nice little gift basket that had like a little candle in it and some aromatherapy. And the candle, it melted into that, massage oil. We all got them candles, child. If you ever been to with the toy parties, child, they sell them candles, okay? And then he also bought her a necklace, and we find out that she is there being honored for, it's a nonprofit organization that deals with breast cancer, but she is also being honored as a award, and that's part of why she's there. She's going to be cooking. I'm sure it was some sort of charity where you paid for the tickets for her, a meal, that was prepared by her. We see her working with another chef, and it's just a great honor. It's a great honor. It's an honor of, and I don't want to say the woman's name wrong. I know y'all gonna get me together in the comments, but she was a really big culinary voice in New Orleans. She passed away a few years ago. And I love the fact that they're bringing the real culture of New Orleans into this. It's all up and through. Well, they get to her house, and of course, we're dealing with her daddy issues again. She is in denial. Well, she's really not in denial. The people around her are really, I feel like, discouraging her. She knows something's wrong with her dad. She knows her dad is off. I mean, she hasn't said the words Alzheimer's or anything like that, or dementia, but she knows her dad's not right. So her dad is outside. They're laughing. They're having a good time. She, asked him which chef code, and he told her which chef code he liked. And then he starts talking about he can't find his wallet. And then he accuses Ellis of stealing it. And so, again, she knows that something is not right. And she, they have a conversation about how that scares her, for her to think about her dad, and that her dad is going through these changes and things just aren't right, and how it's really scary for her. And he's reassuring her, about that or what have you. And so they're in the kitchen, and he gets a phone call. Well, he gets a phone call from his ex-wife, and she's talking about how they stranded on the side of the road. And remember last episode, she was talking about her car, needing to get her car serviced, and he was telling her to take the car to the shop, yada, yada, yada. Clearly she didn't, because the car done broke down on the side of the road. The guy's telling her that she needs an alternator, but he don't have the parts. And so she's like, well, can you come and get me? And he was like, well, where are you? And she was like, well, basically she was like 2 hours outside of New Orleans. They had gone up to Alabama to go gambling, or go over to Alabama to go gambling. And he was like, but and here's where, and I understand what happened. His daughter was with them. So this wasn't so much about him picking his wife or ex-wife up. Well, it's his wife. They ain't divorced yet. Or even the mama up. This was about the fact that his daughter was in the car with them, stranded on the side of the road. However, he's like, where your man at? The man you left me for? Oh, he's on tour. He's not home. So my thing is, y'all gonna need the Uber or something, because I have plans. And I have plans with a woman that's important to me, and it's a very important night for her. But I get it. He ain't gonna have his baby girl stranded on the side of the road. And so Sunday's response was, okay, but that means you're not gonna make it to my event. And he was like, I'm gonna try my best. So listen, this was a bad situation all the way around, because I feel like she handled it the best way she could, considering how disappointed I'm sure she was, how upset she was. But this is a new situation. It's a new relationship. It is his daughter. Again, if it was just the wife, I feel like everybody's reaction would have been different. But the daughter was with them, and it was like, I can't have my baby girl on the side of the road. So Ellis is driving. He tries to call Sunday to say, listen, I'm going to make this happen. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to make it happen. Of course, Sunday is in her feelings. She ain't pick up the phone. I get it. I do. I understand why she ain't pick up the phone, child. So he's talking to the ex-wife. Now, here's where the ex-wife is playing games. Because he told her he had plans And she knows he got a woman that he's dating. And that's important because when I get to the end of this episode, that's important. But she knows that, and he's letting her know, like, listen, I'm like irritated because I gotta come and get you. I had plans tonight. It was a very important night, and now my night is ruined because you didn't do what I told you to do, which was go get the damn car fixed. And now you on the side of the road and you complaining because you said your mama getting irritated, your daughter hungry. Then you had the nerve to ask the man could he stop and get some food on the way. Sorry, excuse me, what? I just told you that that I got something to do, and I don't even know if I'm gonna make it to my event, and now you want me to stop and get you some food? Ma'am, excuse me? So, of course, like I said, Sunday is disappointed. She's upset. But, you know, the show must go on. You know, she got to go on and get to her event. Now, her daddy said he ain't coming. I think because her daddy knows that he ain't, at any point in time, he ain't right. So he's like, listen, I'm not going to make it. And Sunday even told Ellis, this is the first time in my life that my dad is not going to be there for me at an important event. Like, my dad has always been there no matter what the event was, no matter how big or small my accomplishment was. And so I think that added to the fact that Ellis is now not going to be able to make it, or so we think. She gets down to the event and, you know, she's put on a good face and all that good stuff, and you know they teasing her about that is she dating somebody, seeing somebody, because they know that she has somebody coming, all that good stuff. And then she gets somebody shows up and come to find out it's her business partner / booty call, okay? Because he ain't her boyfriend. They kind of get together. They get in where they fit in. They're each other's companions, but he's also, we find out later on, he's also one of her investors. And he brings her a crate of, peaches, Georgia peaches. And she was like, what are you doing here? And he was like, well, I didn't want to miss, this is an important night for you. I didn't want to miss it. Well, because she don't think Ellis is coming, she tells him, well, you can sit at my table. I got an extra seat. And she takes Ellis's name off the plate. And I'm assuming she took his name off the list, because we'll get to that in a second. Now, while all of this is going on, Ellis' ex-wife, his wife, she calls and tells him, listen, I got some good news. I got her, they were able to get the car started. I'm on my way back. We're good to go. You can go ahead and go to your event. So, of course, Ellis is like, yes. So, he's called Sunday. He let Sunday know, listen, I'm going to be able to make it. I'm on my way. He gets back home. He takes a shower. He gets dressed in his new suit that we saw him shopping for earlier on in the episode. And he gets down to the dinner, gets to the damn table, and his name ain't on the list. He said, can you check that again? Because I feel like my name should be on the list. And the lady was like, I'm so sorry, but I don't see your name. Your name is not on the list. So he was like, well, are there any more tickets available? Because damn it, I'm here. So she gives him a ticket. He in the back of the room, and he's there for all of it. He had flowers and everything, and he hears her speech, and she gives a really great speech about, the pioneers and the women and the cooks, and, she talks about her grandmother and her visit to with her grandmother recently and all that good stuff. It was a great speech that she gave, and he was there to hear all of it, baby. He heard all of it. When the speech was over, she leaves with old boy. She leaves with her investor. She leaves with old boy, and Ella sees it, and she realizes later on that Ellis saw it, because Ellis posted a video or posted a picture or something, and she could tell that he was there. So she ends up having a conversation with her friend, and he says, this have anything to do with Ellis? He was like, yeah, I saw his name on the plate before you moved it, so I know somebody else was supposed to be there tonight. And he asked her, he said, so what's up with that? And she was like, well, it's new, but we have a history, and I'm interested in seeing where this goes. And he says, we've always kept this casual, and I've been cool with that. But I want you to know that if you are ready to take this to the next level, I'm willing to do that. Like, I'm willing to take this to the next level. And she was like, yeah, no. Like, I love what our friendship, and I'm going to always be grateful for our friendship, but I'm not really interested in taking this to the next level. And of course, he gives her the old, he don't know what he missing. He got a good thing conversation. So she goes to look for Ellis after she has this conversation with old boy. He says, well, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Ain't no need me staying because I ain't going to get no booty and, whatever. So I'm out. So she finds Ellis. Ellis is playing basketball. And, of course, he's mad. He in his feelings. And they had the conversation. He was like, she said, listen, let me go and tell you what it is, okay? He's a friend. He's an investor. And, yes, we were intimate. But it was never a committed relationship. He wasn't my boyfriend, and I haven't been seeing him, But when I didn't think you could make it, he showed up. And it was what it was, And Ellis was like, I tried to call you and tell you. He said, listen, this is, I'm trying. Like, I really need you to be patient with me because I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Like, I'm really trying to figure out how to make all these parts fit because this is new for me too. And they talk, and what I love about last episode and this episode is they're dealing with the problems, as they come across, but they're handling it like adults. And that I can appreciate. I can appreciate the fact that they are handling these issues like adults. Because it is a lot. I mean, he is going through a divorce. He said it's the first time that he's been dating anybody since his separation. And so it's all new for him how he's going to work a new woman into a relationship with his kids, the wife/ex-wife. Like, it's a lot. And so I can appreciate that everybody's being an adult about the situation. So they end up going back to his place. And of course, they end up, taking a shower together. And So they sitting in the kitchen, kissing and hugging. And here come the ex-wife walking in the door with her key. Talking about oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt anything. But, my man, he done came home with a client, and our house is dry. So I just came over here to get that champagne that I know you had, and my bad. So here's my problem. So of course, Sunday runs out of the room because she's literally sitting in the kitchen with just his shirt on. She runs out of the room. She gets dressed, and while she's in the room getting dressed, of course, he's like, "What the hell? Like, what is wrong with you?" She said, "Well, you ain't answer the phone." He was like, "That don't mean you just come up over here. Like, what is like?" Come on, like, you got, like, stop it. But here's what I'm going to say about everybody in that scenario. Number one, Sunday, don't you ever let nobody take your power away. Girl, that's your man. You in your man's house. You know the situation. He ain't lied to you about nothing, okay? That's number one. So, I would have went in my room and put some clothes on, but I wouldn't have left nowhere. Sunday ended up leaving. I wouldn't have went no damn well. I'd have sat my ass on that couch, crossed my legs, and let him handle it. Because, see, now I want to see how you're going to handle it, okay? So that's number one, Miss Sunday. Never give up your place don't never give up your position. Because you were in the upper position in that situation. She thought she had it, but you really had it. Number two, Ellis, I know you didn't see that one coming because you hadn't put any boundaries in place. And the reason why you hadn't put any boundaries in place because you didn't feel like you needed to put any boundaries in place because you hadn't had anybody in your life, okay? So you ain't see that one coming. She sort of ambushed you on that one. All right, I got it. But what you should have done in that moment was took your damn key. I get it. Y'all got kids. You might have keys to each other's houses, but clearly she ain't ready for the responsibility. Okay? She don't know what to do with it. Okay? Now, ex-wife, all of that was a power play. You knew exactly what you were doing. You know why you knew exactly what you were doing? Because he told you earlier that day that he had a date. It was a special night. It was, and that when you let him off the hook, because you told him you got the car fixed, you knew exactly what he was doing. You knew where he was going and you knew what was up. And when you got to his house and you saw that the lights were on and you saw his car out front, you knew he had company. You knew he had company. At the fact that he wasn't answering the phone, you knew he was busy. At the very least, worst case scenario, he was pissed off because the night didn't go the way he wanted it to go and he didn't feel like talking to you. Best case scenario is what was happening. He had company, the night went well, and he was busy. I refuse to believe that in the city of New Orleans, the type of city that New Orleans is, you couldn't find a liquor store. I don't know if they call them ABC stores in New Orleans or liquor stores, but I know you got a whole Bourbon Street where you can literally walk out on the street and drink alcohol. So there's clearly stores that are open that sell alcohol. You ain't gonna sit here and tell me that you didn't have no other options other than to use your key to get into your old house to steal some liquor from your soon-to-be ex-husband, knowing he had a date. Girl, that was a power play all day. And that's why Sunday wasn't supposed to give up her position of power, and that's why Ellis was supposed to take that woman key. She knew exactly what she was doing. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. I know I'm behind. We're going to get caught up. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.